Okay, we're back. Just a quick rune check here. We have 10 out of 15. And the majority of the runes we have left are in pan. We have 3 more to get. The magical, demonic, and dark runes. We're going to go ahead and swap on this minus fire resistance ring again, because I like to have a lot of MR and I like to have extra mana. I like it when we go into a pan floor and immediately find a portal to another pan floor. Feels like very quickly getting another chance to find an actual rune floor. Ah, Menace. Menace the Menace. This guy has probably killed quite a few players because he can silence and he can mass confusion. For us, we're going to start with that, the tentacle. We're going to make a horrible things. If he silences, and we really need to get away, we'll quaff haste and we'll just walk while he's busy fighting our summons here. But silence is exceptionally dangerous for us, since we're totally reliant upon being able to cast. But with horrible things in the way, we're pretty much fine. We'll go ahead and make a Mana Viper. Yeah, see, there he is. Unfortunately, he does have Holy Wrath, which takes out our abominations pretty quickly. Excuse me, Timon's 2 as well. Let's see. He is quite good in melee, so we may have to bail out of here, but he's taking a lot of damage, fortunately. And we're just outside of his silence radius, so that means we can make some more horrible things. And despite how good he is in melee, he gets taken down. And apparently he had a potion of ambrosia, which I don't think monsters even use. Here we go. It's always fun to see a relatively rare unique like that, though. Not as rare as Ignatio or certain other ones, like maybe Dissolution, but rare nonetheless. Let's blink away from this. Trying to stay surrounded by horrible things so he can't malmutate us. Always good to be aware of exactly which monsters can do particularly annoying things like that, because malmutate has serious side effects. Oh, he has a shield of reflection. We almost iron shotted ourselves in the face. Yeah, no. No thanks on that. But yeah, if you're aware at all times of exactly what can malmutate you, it's good, because then you can be a little more careful. Oh man, this guy. This guy is dead because of Iron Shot. But yeah, malmutate is easily stopped, is what I'm trying to say. You just have to be aware of it. And then you can do various tactics to stop yourself from eating a malmutate, like putting monsters in between you and the thing that can malmutate you. Fortunately, we haven't found an exit yet. Getting tormented is never fun. It's especially bad if you don't have any negative resistance. We have 3 pips, which is the maximum, but that's not to say we don't care about being tormented. We certainly do. It's still very bad. One thing I enjoy about this game is that this character could have gone in a very different direction. We could be playing this game a lot differently right now, even on this character. Just because I'm an Octopode Air Elementalist doesn't mean that it's going to go a certain way. We could have been pure conjurations. Maybe that would have been better for us. Maybe we could have gone straight for Firestorm as soon as we found it. We never found Tornado. Or, well, actually, no. I'm lying. We did find Tornado. We found it quite late, though. I was going to say we could have stuck with Air if we really wanted to. But we kind of rolled with the punches, and we took the best choices. At least I think we did, based on what spells got given to us. But that's not to say that, I mean, maybe it's not optimal. Maybe we could have done something better. Or maybe we could have just done something slightly different that would have ended up about as good. I mean, if we were killing things with Firestorm in here, that would be just as viable. Of course, we would probably rather have a different god if we were doing that. Oh, jeez. Let's teleport away. Really? Yes, he's certainly trying to malmutate us. That's not fun. I'm just playing a little bit over there, dancing around him with blinks. That's okay. I think my desire to not be in Pan kind of makes me misplay a little more in here. Not sure exactly what it is about this place. I think it's mainly the fact that it just goes on forever. And there's no guarantees that you'll find any runes in any decent amount of time. I guess Abyss is sort of the same way. But it feels like Abyss is more forgiving, in my experience. On the plus side, in Pan, unlike Hell, you tend to find some loot lying around as you're going, so at least, you know, you get a few consumables here and there. Kind of makes it feel like it's a little more worth it. In terms of, you're not just using up resources, you're also getting some. Looks like we've gotten another book from Sifmuna. Can't imagine there's really anything that I would bother memorizing at this point, other than the eventual swap to disjunction. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on, Tentacle, do some work. Not good. I would like that Tormentor to be dead, but I'm in minus cast. I'll order them all to attack it. Does Disintegrate work? Tormentor is blasted. Oh, jeez. Okay, finally. There we go. That was not ideal. I'm not terribly concerned about the Executioner with this much AC. Executioners are a very powerful monster, but they're also extremely subject to your AC, so if you have a ton of it, Lom Lobon. Okay, this is good. So looking at the time on the video, that was 10 minutes of just sort of going through Pan, hoping to find a rune. Who knows how many floors we went through. It's just a bit tedious. It's probably not as tedious as I seem to think it is. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Right, but, you know, with that said, it's just because it's not as tedious as it, like in reality, as it feels. I think that just the overall experience of playing the game gives you the impression that it's more tedious. What I mean by that is it may not, in reality, take more time than going through, I don't know, swamp or shoals or whatever, some branch that's finite. But because of the way it's presented, I think that from a psychological standpoint, the player is encouraged to, I mean, it's especially, it's just because it's so late in the game as well. You're kind of ready to win and move on. That doesn't help, but also just the psychological aspect of you tell the player that it's endless, and you tell them that it's essentially a casino. You know, you're rolling the dice every time you enter the portal, and you're either going to get a rune or you're not. And I suspect if the devs were to redo Pan so that it's finite, or I don't know, do something like the Abyss. I thought the Abyss change was very good, where you gain experience and it makes a portal eventually. It means that you won't be sitting around grinding for, you know, forever, potentially. And it also gives the player something to look forward to. It's like a goal, it's like a meaningful goal that they know is coming. After, like, I do a certain amount of X and I will get Y. And you could say, well, in reality, if you take enough Pan portals, you will find a rune. Okay, fine, whatever. But it doesn't really feel that way. I think that, I mean, of course your mileage may vary. Your experience may vary from mine, but in my experience, it just comes across as more boring, the whole Pan, just Pan in general, Pandemonium. I got this island here. Unfortunately, my tentacle doesn't seem to want to spawn over there. So, just do it the hard way with iron shots. Other than Lom Lobon himself, this floor is really very easy. It's sort of a respite from the nastiness of Manoleg's floor, and even Serabov, because you won't really see anything in here that can torment you, and if you do, it'll be few and far between. Instead, you've got these caster types, annihilators, things that we've seen elsewhere in the game. Oh no, we're poisoned. Now we're in stat form. The poison can't hurt us. It's one of the fun things about statue form. If you're poisoned, it just sort of turns it off. Oh no. Minus cast. Let's use the horn. And it takes out our enemy for us. Of course, this level is going to be slightly easier for me since I have significantly increased mobility from being an octopode. All this deep water is just more land for me. But it's worth remembering that this deep water is here because Lom Lobon, the leader of this place, he has access to Tornado, and he can sort of deposit you right on top of the water, which in previous versions could kill you, but now will just cause you heavy drain. A lot of low power popcorn here. Just clearing it out. I think, unfortunately, and this is my problem with Extended, and I think it's most people's problem with Extended, not just Pan, but in general, the game sort of devolves into this, like, most things are popcorn situation in Extended. And you're no longer playing the same kind of game, but, like, for the rest of Crawl, in the beginning, almost everything can kill you. And then throughout the mid-game, certain things can kill you, and everything else can really only kill you situationally, and some things can just never kill you anymore, depending on the kind of character that you're playing. If you're playing a regular hybrid or like a melee type character, certain monsters get trivialized very quickly, and certain monsters get trivialized for any character. I mean, you're not going to be afraid of a goblin or a kobold, but for whatever reason, the game still thinks it's a good idea to occasionally throw a bunch of kobolds along with a kobold demonologist at you. And I can't think of a character that would still be threatened by a big kobold by the time they're on, like, I don't know, Dungeon Floor 13. But you'll still see it. And so it begs the question, like, why is all this popcorn in the game? Is it just supposed to be free experience? If it is, why don't you just increase the experience value of the dangerous monsters? And, you know, I mean, it just depends on the kind of game you're trying to make, I guess. Because maybe the devs don't want every single encounter to be, you know, a challenge. But you spend more time playing the game, I think. The actual game, which is, you know, it's a resource management game. It's you want to try to think your way out of situations, right? But most fights, unfortunately, in this game are kind of no-brainers. And that to me seems like a very difficult problem to solve. But it seems to be a problem that gets worse as your character gains power. Anyway, here's Lom Lobon. He has CBL, he has Tornado. He can blink range. So he blinks to the edge of your sight, or close to it. He can heal himself, which is the obnoxious thing, and he can glaciate. Thankfully, we have 3 pips of ice resistance, so we are going to see if we can't shout him until he comes to us. There we go. Now, if things go bad for us, if things go particularly bad for us, we are going to just blink and like run away from this. I was kind of hoping that our Mana Vipers would anti-magic him, because he's supposed to be, as you can see from his description, he's like the wizard guy. He's based around magic, and so he's not all that great if you take his magic away. I'm going to see if I can't just maybe iron shot him to death. What is this? That's a glitch. He just moved me through a wall with his tornado. That's an old glitch, actually, because I think once upon a time, back when you could die to being dropped in the water, you could be tornadoed through a wall into like an enclosed little area with water, and then you were just kind of trapped there and you died. Yeah, I think this is a glitch. That's okay though. We'll make the tentacle. Let's make the tentacle, and let's close this door. Go ahead and get the rune and see if... Oh, this is funny. Let's see if we can't do the old tentacle trick to him. Lom Lobon is not any faster than us in action speed, so we can just keep closing this door. He must have gotten anti-magic at some point. Oh, he's teleporting. Uh-oh. He's going to teleport if we don't kill him fast. There we go. Iron Shot took him down. And he got hit with the teleport effect by the tentacle. That was a little bit risky insofar as the tentacle could have abyssed him. And then we would have probably wanted to go hunt him down once we finally end up in Abyss. But, I don't know. I found that satisfying. Plus the chance of banishing something with tentacle is pretty low. How embarrassing would it be if I died to popcorn? Make sure I statue form so that doesn't happen. In my excitement to get out of this floor, I proceed to die to a couple of blizzard demons. That would be embarrassing. Okay. Little midpoint assessment here. We're a little bit over halfway through Pan. We have the Dark Rune, which is guarded by Glorx, and we have the Demonic Rune, which is guarded by a Mystery Panlord. Or possibly the Seraph, if we find Holy Pan. I'll cut the video off here, and we'll continue next time.